Do you believe in the Madden curse?
No, I do not.
Why not?
The Madden curse, I feel like, is broken. The last few years, you had Odell on it last year.
Almost you, but then it was Odell. I voted for you.
You saw? Thank you. I like you. Not really, but...
Ah, damn it.
In sports, there are many curses that have been said to plague players, teams, cities, and even whole leagues. There are things like the Billy Goat curse that cursed the Chicago Cubs for over 100 years before they finally won the World Series. There's the Cleveland curse, where the city of Cleveland would always get so close to winning a title before something happened to derail them. And in the NFL, there is the Madden curse. The curse that states that if you're the cover athlete of Madden NFL, you could go from having a great season to a cursed one the following year. Allow us to show you times the Madden NFL curse striked. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 9. Barry Sanders and Dorsey Levens.
Fans especially blame Barry and thought that if not he quit on his team or quit on his teammates, I think a lot of fans feel he quit on them. And not so much because he wouldn't be playing, but he was one pretty much average Barry season from becoming the NFL's all-time leading rusher.
Let's go right to the beginning of this madness by talking about two athletes who were definitely cursed because of the cover. Widely regarded as one of the greatest running backs of all time, Barry Sanders was voted to the Pro Bowl every season he was in the league, and in 1997, he became one of only 3 players to rush for over 2,000 yards in a single season. He also became the first player to rush for over 1,500 yards in 4 consecutive seasons, and finished the 1998 season with the 3rd highest career rushing yards in NFL history. In contrast, Green Bay running back Dorsey Levens was a relative newcomer to the NFL spotlight before appearing on the Madden NFL cover. With only 2 seasons rushing for over 1,000 yards, Levens was a surprising choice for the game's cover, but his appearance in the 1997 Pro Bowl, after a 1,400-yard season, had earned him recognition as one of the league's fastest rising stars. Not too long after he was named the cover athlete for Madden NFL 2000, Sanders announced his retirement from the NFL in a surprise move that left fans, and the league by most accounts, reeling. While it's not the most obvious evidence of a curse, Sanders' unexpected exit from the league left a huge void in the Detroit roster. And there remains quite a bit of controversy and mystery surrounding the scenario that ended the career of one of the league's greatest players. With Sanders' abrupt exit, EA Sports quickly put together another cover featuring up-and-coming star Levens, who had helped lead the Green Bay Packers to several playoff runs in recent years. The season after appearing on the cover would end up being his last on the starting roster, however, as a nagging injury limited him in 1999, and Green Bay posted their worst record since Brett Favre became the team's quarterback in 1992. Levens would be released by the Packers in 2001. So in this case, the curse struck not once, but twice. Number 8. Eddie George.
There's no way in the world that you are on first contact going to bring down 2-7. The approach in bringing down Eddie George was have one guy get there, slow him down, and hope that the homies arrive.
The Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State University earned a reputation as one of the most reliable workhorses in the NFL during his 9-season career, and he entered the 2000 season saddled with high expectations after his team was defeated by the slimmest of margins in the previous year's Super Bowl. George had rushed for over 1,200 yards in each of his 4 seasons thus far, and averaged over 3.7 yards per carry to lead the team. Surely the curse wouldn't strike him, right? Wrong. George went on to rush for more than 1,500 yards in his cover season, but he also lost a career-high number of fumbles, coughed up the ball in the Titans' season-ending playoff game, and never averaged more than 3.4 yards per carry for the rest of his career. Number 7. Dante Culpepper.
Dante Culpepper has his share of this incredible sports opulence, a $20 million contract that included a $5 million signing bonus. He was the only first-round quarterback from the 1999 draft not to take a snap last season. This year, though, the Minnesota Vikings count on him as their starting quarterback.
Many quarterbacks have graced the cover of Madden, and Dante Culpepper was one who many felt wouldn't be affected by the curse. He immediately led the team to an 11-5 record in the conference championship game on the strength of passing for almost 4,000 yards and rushing for nearly 500 yards. He was selected to the Pro Bowl and began the 2001 season as one of the most celebrated young quarterbacks in the league. Thanks to this, he was the 2002 Madden cover athlete. And then, Injuries wiped out 6 games in his cover season. He fumbled 16 times, threw just 14 TDs compared to 13 picks, and went 4-7 in his starts. His career never recovered as a whole. Number 6. Michael Vick.
In the history of the NFL, there have been just a handful of players who forever changed the game or a particular position with their play. One example is Michael Vick.
We'll skip a year and go to Madden 2004's cover to talk about the one and only Michael Vick. A man who both helped change the game and brought down the game via his arrest. But no, the Madden curse didn't cause that to happen. That was on him. Rather, after electrifying people in Atlanta with his play and even taking his team to the playoffs, he was announced as a cover athlete for Madden. A very deserving thing. But then, in his cover season, he got injured. In the preseason. Yes, the preseason. He was hurt so bad that he missed 11 games that year. It was so bad that the coach got fired for letting him get hurt in the preseason. So the curse affected 2 people once again. Number 5. Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis, you feel him.
Oftentimes the Ravens are rushing 3 men. This is a hard knock. The master of disaster, 15 years he's been lighting people up over the middle.
Feel his presence. You are better because you're in the room with him.
In terms of defensive presence on the football field, very few could compare to the greatness that was Ray Lewis. The Hall of Famer turned broadcaster made his impact felt on the field for well over a decade, and earned 2 Super Bowl rings as a result. While Lewis's season following his debut as the Madden NFL 2005 cover athlete wasn't exactly terrible, the usually reliable linebacker failed to record a single interception in the 2004 season, the first time that had ever happened in his long career. The Ravens also failed to make the playoffs for the first time in several years, and in Week 6 of the following season, Lewis tore his right hamstring, forcing him to end his season abruptly. So yeah, the curse struck. Number 4. Shaun Alexander.
Derrick Henry was the NFL's leading rusher in 2019. Who was the last Alabama running back that was the NFL's leading rusher? Time's up. It was you.
You could argue that this was one of the biggest victims of the curse. Shaun Alexander took his game to the next level in 2005, when he became the first running back in NFL history to record 15 touchdowns in 5 consecutive seasons and broke the franchise record for rushing. As if that wasn't enough, he was named the NFL's most valuable player that season and led the Seahawks to an appearance in Super Bowl XL. They lost, but that wasn't all on him. Blame the refs. Anyway, with all of this, you bet he was named to the cover of Madden 07. And it went downhill from there. Alexander's 2006 season was derailed by a broken foot in Week 3, just a few months after being named the Madden NFL cover athlete. The season would become his first without 1,000 yards rushing since he became a starter for the Seahawks. Alexander's abbreviated 2006 season was followed by an injury-plagued 2007 season that had him suffer a fractured wrist, sprained knee, and sprained ankle. The result was an even worse season, and Alexander was cut from the team's roster in 2008. Think about that. He went from all-time great, leading rusher of the league and MVP, to being injury-prone and cut. And the dividing line is the cover. Coincidence? We think not. Number 3. Brett Favre.
Cool as it is, Brett Favre had to make a decision. Does he play tonight or doesn't he play tonight?
The day before, Brett learns that his dad, Irvin, has died.
So under tremendous emotion duress, Brett Favre goes work.
This one is hard to talk about because Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer, legend, and beloved by most in the league. But when he was named to Madden NFL 09's cover, it was meant to be the final feather in his cap because he had retired after a hard loss in the NFC Championship game in his final ride with the Packers. This was a legacy pick on top of Favre doing great that year. But as you all likely know, he unretired, joined the New York Jets, and had on the field and off the field issues that showed that even the old gunslinger isn't immune from the Madden curse. Number 2. Drew Brees.
Many disturbing images have emerged in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina.
Hurricane Katrina wipes out much of New Orleans.
Tonight, entire towns have been wiped out.
Nothing is more misunderstood about post-Katrina New Orleans than this. the Saints are not a symbol of rebuilding, but of what has been rebuilt.
You know, we know about the person that he is. But Drew Brees, a model of consistency and production, not to mention a first-class citizen.
Do you have any idea of the breach of the Gulf, how far back inland it went?
Here's another quarterback who you would have sworn would be immune to the curse, but nope. Drew Brees made the cover of Madden NFL 11 because of his performance with the New Orleans Saints and not just getting them to the Super Bowl, but winning it. The first for the team and for New Orleans as a whole. While the 2010 season wasn't a terrible disappointment overall, Brees had one of his worst seasons to date. The usually accurate passer threw twice as many interceptions as he had in previous years. And the team's generally lackluster performance led to a playoff defeat in the first week of the postseason. The loss was especially disappointing given that New Orleans lost to Seattle, the first team in NFL history to make it into the playoffs with a losing record. Ouch. Number 1. Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, look at that shot! Goodness. That is a linebacker shot right there.
This isn't the hop step jump. Adrian Peterson makes a football play and people are yelling medic.
We were talking earlier about the beast in the room when we interviewed that man right there.
Adrian Peterson is one of the greatest running backs to ever play the game, period. Peterson returned to the team from injury in 2012 and took the league by storm once more by rushing for 2,097 yards, while Peterson's start to the 2013 season looked good, with a 78-yard rushing touchdown on the first carry of the game. He struggled for the first half of the season with a nagging foot injury. He ended up playing only 14 games, and the team's record dropped back down to 5-10-1 after he was declared done for the season in December due to the same aggravated foot injury. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at the times where the Madden curse came and struck down a player after doing so good in the previous season? Can you believe how many players have been hit by this curse? Do you understand now why many are hesitant to go and be on the cover? Who do you think will be on the cover for the next game? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.